Hey guys, today we're going to be taking a look at substitution when it comes to working with functions. A lot of what we're going to be doing is the same as it would be with substituting into an equation, but there is a little bit that's going to be different, and some of the way that we write the problems out are going to be a little bit different. So let's take a look at it. When we are substituting into a function, just like when we substitute into an equation, we are replacing the variable with something. In this case, with a function, we're replacing the variable with the number or expression that's in the parentheses of the function. So for instance, I'm given a function here, f of x equals 2x plus 3, and I would be asked to find f of 4, or f parentheses 4. And so we're going to take what's inside this parentheses here, and we're going to put it in for this same variable over here. We're going to put it in for the x that we had originally in the parentheses. And so the way that we would write this out is we would say f of 4, notice we have a 4 there instead of an x, equals 2 parentheses 4 instead of the x, plus 3. So most of that is very, very similar to what you have seen with substituting into equations. The formatting here is just a little bit different, and so you need to be aware of that. So let's take a look at an example that's fully solved out. Alright, so we're given our equation here, or we're given our function, sorry, not an equation, a function, and we are told to find f of 3. That's what the f parentheses 3 means right here. And so we're going to take this x and we're going to replace it with a 3 inside parentheses. So everything about this stays the same, except we've taken out the x and we've put the 3 in parentheses right here. Remember, when you are substituting, it is very important to use parentheses. When you have negative numbers thrown around in there, it can change things dramatically depending on whether or not you have the parentheses. So it's always important to have the parentheses in there. So we're just going to work this out as before. So 3 to the second power will give us 9. And 9 plus 2 is 11. So we are told that f of 3 is equal to 11. So we plugged in 3 and we got out 11. And if we wanted to write this as an ordered pair, we could just write 3, 11. Just like that. So this is relatively the same as you saw substitution with equations previously. But now let's take a look at something that may be a little bit different. So we are given this function right here, f of x equals 5x minus 4, and now rather than f of a number, we're given f of an expression. So I have f of x plus 1, and I also have f of x plus 1. These are two different things, and we're going to work both of them out, and you're going to see how they end up being two different answers. So just like before, we're going to take whatever is inside the parentheses here and plug it in for x. So we're actually replacing this x with x plus 1 inside parentheses. So we just took out the x that we originally had there, and we put x plus 1 that we had in the parentheses in its place. So now we need to use our distributive property and multiply the 5 times both things inside the parentheses. So now we have 5x plus 5 minus 4, and we just need to combine our like terms here. So we have 5 minus 4, which gives us 1. And the 5x just stays the same. For the most part, when you're asked to plug in an expression rather than a single number, you aren't going to be writing things as an ordered pair, although you could if you wanted to. So this is what we get when we plug in x plus 1. Now let's look down here at this slightly different case. So we have f of x plus 1. Well, we were told originally that 5x minus 4 is equal to f of x, and so all we're going to be doing is adding 1 to it. So we have the 5x minus 4 that is our f of x, and then we're just going to have plus 1 put on the end here. So if I have negative 4 plus 1, that's going to give me negative 3, and so I'm going to have 5x minus 3 here for my final answer. And as we see, we get two different solutions here depending on whether this plus 1 is inside the parentheses or if it's outside the parentheses. And you need to be aware when you see problems of which one is which, because it can be a little confusing if you're not paying attention, but if you know what's going on, it should be relatively easy.